Good evening. You're watching the Diamond News Desk at 8. My name is Sepu Ngoma. Let's take a look at the stories that are making headlines on the news desk this evening. Government urges manufacturers to reflect economic gains in pricing. Later on, we see how Lusaka taxi drivers decry poor network connectivity. We have the commodity prices, the kwacha's performance on the international market, as well as the construction commodity prices for you to look at later on. So stay tuned. Let's get straight to business. Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipoka Mulenga has urged manufacturers in the country to adjust commodity prices in response to the country's improving economic indicators. Speaking during a stakeholder engagement meeting in Lusaka, Mr. Mulenga has pointed out the strengthening kwacha and declining fuel prices as evidence of positive economic momentum. He notes that these gains attributed to increased national production and should lead to tangible benefits for consumers. Meanwhile, Zambia Association of Manufacturers President Ashu Sagar has acknowledged the positive developments and has called for the patience as the effects of the economic changes begin to filter through the production and supply chain.
Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipoka Mulenga has urged manufacturers to pass on the benefits of a stabilizing economy to ordinary Zambians by reducing commodity prices. Addressing stakeholders in Lusaka, Mr. Mulenga has pointed to the strengthening of the kwacha and the recent drop in fuel prices as signs of economic recovery driven by increased production and sound government policies. The minister has emphasized that with fundamentals improving, consumers must begin to feel the relief where it matters the most, at the point of purchase.
Our people in homes must see the benefits of these policies that are coming in place to better the economic standards of living of our people. But if they are not seeing them, we have a responsibility as and mandate to co-players of our economy to see what we can do together. The fourth estate, which is the media, thank you for coming. You are critical in taking information and informing the people of what your government is doing to get the living standards of the people, including yourselves, better. That's why we've got ZAM, we've got Zaki, we've got Zipa, we've got the chain stores, to see what we can do from here. And we've had a good meeting and conversations. I've seen you still continue to maintain the prices. So even when we are talking about the gains that we are doing in the economic fundamentals, but my brother and my sister down there, who is a maid at home, who is a taxi driver, who is a passenger in these things, who is shopping from Mr. Bota at ShopRite, they are not seeing the reduction in these things.
And Zambia Association of Manufacturers President Ashu Saga welcomed the economic progress but called for patience, noting that translating macroeconomic gains into lower prices takes time.
The short to medium term. Of course, nothing happens overnight, as we have pointed out, and these are things that we must take consideration of, but are very positive moves that we have agreed should translate into pricing over some time. These things don't come just out of magic or whatever. It's something that is we are hoping and should be sustained by the changes in the economic environment, the positive changes that we've seen. So with that, we've all agreed that we are going to work with as much as we can with government and encourage our members also, our manufacturers, that where they can try and push the cost benefit to the general public.
Also present at the meeting were Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chief Executive Officer Elvin Nasilele, Zipa Executive Director Zali Chikuba, and ShopRite Chain Stores General Manager Charles Bota, who have all stressed the importance of collaboration in ensuring that economic gains are reflected across markets.
We are seeing prices of fuel coming down consecutively for the past 3 months. And our call is really to our members, the Chamber Fraternal members, to respond positively to the goodwill that we are experiencing as a nation. We would like to see corresponding responses in terms of pricing of commodities. It is quite worrisome to note that 3 months down the line, we still have prices of commodities still as they were, as though nothing has happened.
There are, however, industries that will typically rely on imports that are coming from overseas. And usually you find that the lead times for those inputs to get into Zambia will be around 45 days. And also when they get into the production cycle, they might take a bit more days. And for them to get onto the shelf and absorb the changes in the exchange rate, it might take up to a quarter. So we need to treat these various industries differently and expect different timelines for them to reflect lowered prices.
What's happened in the economy in terms of the layers that are going to the input costs coming down, and they've given a commitment to engaging their members to looking at the costs coming down, costs to us as chain stores. So we also commit in the same way. As the prices come down, so also our prices will come down. I just want to say here that exactly what our colleague from ZIPA has said, and I think the president of ZAM also said, it does take a while. It does take a while. I know that people don't fully understand that, but the reasons that have been given why it tends to take a while for prices to come down are very, very clear. We are committed to bringing those prices down. This week itself, last week, the week before, we've been engaging our suppliers, many of whom are part of ZAM, to talk about the factors that have come down and therefore their prices or their costs to us must come down. So
the engagement marks a renewed push for pricing reforms that match Zambia's changing economic landscape. Rachel Mumba for Diamond News.
Taxi drivers in Lusaka have expressed concern over ongoing poor network services from some mobile service providers, saying the situation is disrupting their daily business operations. The drivers have reported challenges with basic digital transactions such as road tax payments and mobile money transactions, which are being hindered by unreliable connectivity. The drivers are now calling on the Zambia Information and Communications Technology Authority, ZICTA, to intervene and ensure service providers improve their infrastructure.
A good mobile network is key to seamless communication, quick access to information, and even life-saving emergency services. But for many mobile users in Zambia, this remains a distant dream. Taxi drivers like Sinoya Nkoma say they are struggling to conduct business due to persistent network challenges. He says coordinating with clients has become frustrating and unpredictable.
Even if you want to buy road tax, you find that someone tells you that no, the network is not okay. You wait. What does that mean? It means we are far behind. ZICTA, they are supposed to work on these systems with the network providers so that they should see what is the thing that we can do to improve the system. Because most of the companies, for them to run, they depend on the network system. So if the network is bad, then it means they lose billions of money because of the poor service providers. Right now, if you switch on your phone, it's pathetic. Like yesterday, I was trying to download certain things. So it might be the data has expired. To check the data, is still there because I bought for 1 month. But to my shock, it couldn't work. If you want to make a call, just next to your wife is in your room. You try a call, it's not connecting. They say the phone is switched off. But the phone is on. It's the system itself, it's not good. So ZICTA has to sit down with the network providers so that they meet a consensus to sort out such a mess in a country. We are embarrassing ourselves. This is the world of technology where we need to improve. As the world is improving, we should also go with that technology system.
Another driver, Ruben Sichilia, shares similar concerns and is calling on the Zambia Information and Communication Technology Authority, ZICTA, to urgently intervene.
And I've been experiencing a very bad network of late, probably starting from, I can just say last month. I was thinking maybe it's only me and the phone which is not all that fine, but I've just realized that the network hasn't been very well in terms of calling, transactions, as well as the internet. It has been very bad. It is actually a challenge to us because, you know, when you want to use maybe Airtel money, we are having a very big challenge because somebody wants to maybe pay via Airtel money. We are failing due to the fact that there's a problem with the network.
The poor network is not only hurting communication but also threatening livelihoods. Recently, ZICTA issued an official notice addressing a data outage on the Airtel network In the statement, the regulator acknowledged the interruption in Airtel services, demanded a detailed explanation from the service provider, and reminded the service provider of its legal obligation to compensate affected customers in line with quality of service standards. For many Zambians, however, that intervention can't come soon enough. Rachel Mumba for Diamond News.
We still have more in business this evening as we now take a look at the money markets. Your money markets this evening are something to be happy about with the increasing appreciation of the kwacha against the United States dollar. But let's take a closer look as we start off this week. On a Monday, the USD was buying in kwacha terms at 23 kwacha 25 ngwe, and it was selling at 23 kwacha 65 ngwe as of 23rd June 2025. Do note that these rates are indicative, and these are courtesy of the Zambia National Commercial Bank and the Bank of Zambia. Those are your money markets seeing the kwacha's performance, but how about we take a look at your construction commodity prices? Your construction commodities this evening. Let's start off first with this particular item that we'll be looking at this evening and how much you'll be purchasing at. This is an electric forklift, and this will cost you somewhere around 262,000 kwacha. And you could get yourself one of these. And our second item that we're looking at this evening is a poly garden dump cart. Now, this will cost you just slightly over 2,400 kwacha, about close to 2,500 kwacha, and you can purchase one of these for yourself. Do note that these are courtesy of the Zambia National Building Society. Thanks to ZMBS for those commodity prices as far as construction is concerned, but let's shift our attention now to our commodity prices. Our commodity prices this evening will show you how much you'll be purchasing goods when you go out to shop at your local supermarket. Let's start off first with our food items. 1 kg of beef at an average of 105 kwacha. 1 kg of sugar will cost you nothing more than 37 kwacha. Flour will cost you on average 87 kwacha. If you're a baker, you may need some eggs. 120 kwacha is the average price. Some cooking oil, 5 liters, around 300 kwacha. Let's see what our basic staple food will cost you. 25 kg bag of breakfast mini meals, somewhere around 355 kwacha. We've seen a slight increase from when we were reviewing them about a few weeks ago at around 250 kwacha, but now your roller mini meal is going for around 270 kwacha. Stay where you are. Your non-food items are something like this: 10 rolls of toilet paper, 85 kwacha, 1 bar of multi-purpose soap, nothing more than 45 kwacha. We're looking at 1.5 kg of washing powder now. The lowest you get it at is 115 kwacha. And closing it off with 1 bar of bathing soap will cost you nothing more than 45 kwacha. The range is all the way from 19 kwacha, depending on which product or which brand, I beg your pardon, that you want to use. These altogether are your commodity prices. And that concludes our business this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. You might want to stay where you are because I've got some construction news coming up after these short messages.